Got every man in here wishing, sipping on cooking rum. I'm like, so what? I'm drunk. It's the freaking weekend, baby. I'm about to have me some fun. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Hey y'all, it's me, Gina. Welcome. Take two. Hey y'all, it's me, Gina, and welcome to my kitchen. On today's episode of Busy Baking, we're gonna be making Italian wedding cake, and I will tell you why. I played around with a recipe for Italian wedding cake buttercream frosted. Took it to work, sat it up front, it was gone very quickly. Some sweet soul even washed my dish out. It was requested I make it again. I made it for a little hot dog dinner that we had, or hot dog lunch we had at work, and it was gone very quickly. I also made it on one other occasion for my family, and it was gone very quickly. I very rarely repeat recipes a lot. I tried new recipes, but this one I made probably 3 cakes in the span of a week, which is very, very odd for me to do. The only thing I make a lot of is my cinnamon cake, which was the very first Busy Baking, because that's Tom's favorite cake, and you gotta make your husband happy. So clearly I make that one quite often. But this was such a requested cake, and it was super, super easy. You just make a white cake. So this is basically just, I think it was Duncan Hines white cake mix. Let me go see. So I use the Betty Crocker just white cake mix, and just use the egg whites. And if I want to be quick, now I will make my own cake sometimes, but oh, I got a hair. What is happening? So okay. So sometimes I make my own cake. Sometimes I just use the box cake mix. It's just as good. I cannot speak. Like, what is happening? The real flavor is in the icing. And that's what everybody really likes. So I'm gonna tell y'all how I make it. It may not be Italian wedding cake icing, I don't know. It may just be something I came up with, I don't know. But people really like it, so you should try it. Make you just a box white cake mix, and this is literally very simple, very quick. Like this is in a 13 by 9 glass pan. Let's go into making the icing for this cake. Icing. So many people are gonna pick on me for saying icing. You need 1 cup of butter, which is generally 2 sticks. You want it unsalted and you want it room temperature. People yell and say if it's not room temperature, don't put it in the microwave. I put it in the microwave, pop it in there 10 seconds, let it rest, turn it, 10 more seconds. Normally it's good to go if you don't have time to let it sit out all day. And then there's some like hack that you can put boiling water in a glass jar and sit it on top of a cold stick of butter and wait. But that just takes too long. Like, this is Busy Baking. I'm a busy person. I don't want to spend all day doing crap like that. So, one thing you will need is a hand mixer. I don't know if you can do this by yourself. And I will give you a hint with bacon, especially this white cake mix. It tells you on the box. I cannot speak today. But it tells you to mix it on low and then to beat it on medium speed for 2 minutes. I crank mine up to medium high, and I do it for about 2 minutes, and it makes the batter look really fluffy, and your cake turns out really fluffy. It's really porous, really fluffy cake. It's not a dense, heavy cake. That's how I like to do it. You know, white cake's really good when you do that, just fluff it up. For this icing, you need a cup of unsalted butter, softened, not runny, but softened. You need a whole box of powdered sugar. You're gonna need almond extract and vanilla extract. I use 2 teaspoons of vanilla and 1 teaspoon of almond. That's where most of the flavor comes from in this. And then you're gonna need some milk. You can use heavy cream, you can use whole milk. I use 2%, it works for me, it tastes good, it's very sturdy, even if you wanna make a layer cake. And you know, it's about 3 to 4, maybe 5 tablespoons, depending on the consistency that you want your icing. So I have brown vanilla extract. They do make a clear vanilla extract because this is gonna make it a little tinted. It's not gonna be pure white. So if you want pure white cake mix, pure white icing, then you need to get the dye-free or the clear vanilla extract. What you're gonna do first is put your butter in here, and you're just gonna like beat your butter. So I just like to get it mixed up. You just want your butter fluffy and creamed. There's gonna be no sugar added in it yet. We have some type of like bajanked, jack-jawed system here for this, for me to be able to stand right here and use my electric mixer. I do recommend an electric mixer for this. If you have one, you can probably do it by hand. It's gonna take you a little longer. But we just wanna beat this till it's fluffy. Now that really won't take a long time if your butter is soft. So that's what it looks like. I hope you guys can see it. I don't know if it's focused or not, but. And then I just like to mix my powdered sugar or confectioner sugar in 3 parts. You can probably dump it all in. I don't like to do that, but you might like to do that. It's up to you. But I didn't put everything in neat little bowls because I just don't want to wash all those dishes. So you're just gonna have to look at it like spread all over the counter for this video. Because this is real bacon right here. So now I'm gonna just eyeball it and pour a third in. You can do the whole bag, so it does not matter. You don't have to measure it. You can measure it. Completely up to you. Let me get my jack jaw thing. Oh my, there's got to be a better way. That ain't it. Okay. So you're just gonna put it on low. If you put it on high, it's gonna fling powdered sugar everywhere and you're gonna have a mess. And we don't got time to deal with messes. So we're just gonna do it on low. And you just wanna mix the powdered sugar into your butter. And if people like this for you guys as much as they do for me, you're gonna be making this quite often. Like I've, for real, had to tell people, you know, that I didn't want to make it anymore for a while because I had made it so much. I even had people offering to pay me to make them one, which is really weird for such an easy recipe. So, but I didn't want to do that either. I love to bake, but the minute somebody wants me to bake them something and then pay me for it, I don't want to bake it. Like, it makes me angry. I don't know why. I guess that's why I am a pharmacist and not a baker, because I guess you make no money if you don't want to bake things that people want to buy. So there's that. Like I said, you can do this on low. We're going to crank it up in a minute just to get it all mixed together. You just really want to incorporate it right now. I'm going to pour in the rest of the confectioner sugar, powdered sugar. I buy it in a box. Most boxes have about 4 cups in it. So if you don't have a box, I would just do 4 cups. That's generally enough to make a simple buttercream. Oh my goodness. And then we're just gonna incorporate this last little bit in, and then I'll cut it up on high. Like, I don't even know if wedding cake is an actual flavor. Like, because wedding cakes can be any flavor. Man, I just made that worse. So, I mean, I don't know if Italian wedding cake may be a flavor. I think that's what somebody called it when I made it. And I didn't know that that was a thing, so that's just what I call it, but it may not be. Alright, so we're just going to crank this up. We want it all incorporated. Try to get some majority of it off my beaters. Now I am going to get this down because I done made a mess up the side of the thing and I don't want to be flinging it out trying to mix that up. Now I'm going to put in my vanilla, like I said. Let me get it. You can get the clear vanilla extract if you want to. I'm not that hard up for it being white because I'm not making it for somebody's wedding. So, and this stuff gets all down the side of this thing, and I'm a neat freak. I don't want my vanilla everywhere. And whatever you do, it smells good. The extract smells good. Whatever you do not lick it because it does not taste like it smells. It is strong. If you've never licked it, maybe you ought to try. And then I put in a teaspoon of almond. Now I'm going to tell you that this is very strong. It has a very strong almond extract taste. That's part of what makes it the flavor that it makes it. So If you don't want it, like you can smell it, it's very strong. If you don't want it that almondy, you can just do half a teaspoon, 1/4 of a teaspoon. Like I said, this is just the flavoring, it's not for consistency. So I do 2 of vanilla and 1 teaspoon of almond, but you can cut that down if you want to. It's a really sweet icing, so if you don't want it really sweet, then you can cut it down. I like it this sweet. I think it's a great icing. Like I said, I've had so many compliments on the cake. Nothing is as good a compliment as when you set a cake down and literally 30 minutes later, the cake plate is completely empty, and when you go to wipe it out, people are actually coming over there with a knife trying to scrape down the icing off the sides of the container because they didn't get any cake. Since I'm not doing it as a layer cake, I am gonna throw just a couple tablespoons of milk in, because I'm not as worried. I just wanted to be able to spread over my cake. I'm not quite as concerned about a heavy consistency. We're not trying to stabilize anything here. We just want icing. Spreadable icing. So I'm just gonna put 2 in here and see. Like I would only put 1 tablespoon or 1/2 a tablespoon, depending upon the thickness, if I were gonna make a layer cake, because you do want it to hold up and not slop down like 90% of my layer cakes do. They all slide off and go to the side. This still seems kind of thick. Yeah, that still seems a little thick for me, so I'm gonna add 1 more. You got this thing janky. Like I'm having to like pull it out and hold it. Like I done told these people, all these people, that you're, all 10 people, that your jankiness is messing me up. All right, I think this is the consistency that I want. So I'm just gonna cut it on high, fluff it up a little bit. Make sure you mix it all in. Spin it off your beaters. Bring our cake over and our icing is done. I'm just gonna make sure with my spatula everything's down and mixed up on the sides and the bottom. And then sheet cake. The reason I love a sheet cake is just done this icing on top. Icing. I made the cake last night, making the icing today. Don't have to wait for the cake to dry. I hope it's not wet. Don't have to wait for the cake to cool. Get all the icing out we can. And then we're just gonna spread it on top. It's gonna be ready for whatever the occasion is. Clearly, you probably don't want this for a wedding cake for somebody, since it's just a sheet cake in a glass pan, but you could obviously turn it into a layer cake, and if you know how to ice and decorate, which I do not, then you can make a great wedding cake. But it is delicious, whether it's a sheet cake or not. But here we are, guys. So this is the recipe and the icing that people have been like going crazy over the past couple weeks. So I hope you guys try it and let me know if this is indeed a wedding cake flavor icing, or if this is just a vanilla almond buttercream, whatever you want to call it. It's good. That's real good. Alright guys, so there's our cake and our icing. It's very quick, very easy, very yummy. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Let me know if you make an icing similar to this, or what your favorite icing or buttercream icing, I don't care, cream cheese icing, whatever your favorite icing is, just let me know. Be sure to hit that subscribe button because y'all know y'all want to. We put out videos every Tuesday and you don't want to miss it, and we will see y'all next time. Stay sweet, y'all. Stay sweet like wedding cake icing.